Whether you manage projects and programs, are involved with them, or are impacted by projects and programs, we hope this series is of help to you. Using pragmatics and practicalities with shared expertise, activities which are often just assumed but whose absence impacts the delivery of projects are addressed. Time is also taken to consider areas of projects whose importance and significance are often overlooked or underestimated. The theme for this session is about project reviews and taking people through a process to get meaningful outcomes, whether the reviews are ongoing, stage reviews, or post-implementation reviews. This longer session comes by request from various parties who have been through different reviews which left room for improvement and in the engagement and/or in the business outcomes realized. The need for reviews and the value from reviews and feedback is taken as read. The challenge lies in realizing the returns from reviews and in any remediation. It is in the feeling of being valued, understood, and seeing outcomes from reviews is where many critiques occur. A review has various stakeholders, often with differing needs and expectations, and while role segregation of responsibilities should occur, this may not always be the case. The main players include requesters, those that request a review, often responsible for requesting, establishment, and setting the guidelines. They may also be paying for the review and have set needs even though the expected outcomes are to be determined. Reviewers, those conducting a review. These may be the same as the requesters and/or working for the requesters. It is important to understand the role of the reviewers, what they are tasked with, and their motivations. Participants, those who are involved in the review and contribute to a review. Good review processes make this segregation clear, have the required governance, and communicate these effectively. Now, a review is for a given purpose with an expectation around outcomes. It is important to consider who is paying and for what, as this influences many aspects of a review. The drivers for a review, which may vary over time and with stakeholders. The vested interests influencing a review. The expected outcome from the review varies with stakeholders and expectations. Also, the review may be a tool only to resolve a different problem. Consider a simple lessons learned session where participants freely share in a fun environment a lesson learned on a project which helps others. There are nuances even within this basic activity. Paying. Overall, the project is paying. Drivers. The driver of the project is to share lessons learned, to help the project team. Though members of the team may see things different, especially if they are unfamiliar with this approach. Vested interests. The vested interest of the project can vary with members of the project team. A busy team member may have no vested interest to participate in a given session, but may have an interest in a different session. While the vested interest of the project manager may be to show completion of the exercise rather than realizing improvements. Expected outcome. The outcome may be a sharing of information and a record of the lessons learned shared, but equally the session can be used to show the performance management of the team. Understanding the outcome is significant. Getting the best from people in a review is dependent upon a range of factors and considerations, often with nuances. Remember, those providing details to a review may often have a different understanding of a review. Taking people through a review to get the most from them is a process where the participants are at the center of a review. Otherwise, a review becomes just an exercise. Type of review. The timing of a review is important because of the need, but it also impacts the type of review to use. Typical reviews include ongoing reviews, e.g. as part of Agile and sprints, or in the form of structured lessons learned sessions. Reviews at the start and or end of a stage or gate reviews. These often require set documents and can be tied to releases of funding. Post-information review at the end of a project. Reviews triggered by specific needs, events, or changes in conditions. While each of these reviews varies as well as the outcomes, the common alignment mentioned previously, as well as the process to follow, applies. Review is seen. A review needs to be seen as credible. The need, setup, process, outcomes, and expectations should be seen as credible. An example of where a review is seen as a witch hunt or to allocate blame may deliver what is needed politically, but seldom addresses issues in a project. A review conducted by parties seeking blame details is often counterproductive, authoritative. Those doing the review are seen as authoritative and capable. Where contributors perceive a lack of understanding by reviewers, the reviews tend to be less effective. Trustworthy. The process and the reviewers need to be seen as trustworthy. Reporting things back from other parties or what was said undermines trust. Valued. Participants need to feel valued. They need to feel as if they are being listened to and that their views and contributions are being recognized. In essence, empathy is required. Reviewers telling participants that they do not have time, that the participants need to shorten answers, dismissing the views of participants, lecturing participants are all unprofessional behaviors. Review process. The process people are taken through needs to be seen as engaging. Those contributing need to be drawn in and engaged in various ways, in differing approaches, for contribution, varying durations of engagement, and more. A one-size-fits-all approach seldom works. Reflective. The review process needs to allow for reflection in a comfortable environment which allows time for participants to pause. Responsive. The process needs to be responsive to adopt and adapt to the needs and of those contributing. Understanding. Those contributing feel that their views and needs are understood. Whether changes are made is different. It is the understanding sense which is important. These are an extension of how a review is seen. Review personal response. While mentioned in some of the previous points, the review process needs to be seen as personal and relevant because this is why people want to contribute and to help. Shrugging off this need is alienating. Making a review personal includes having a voice heard and respected, avoiding the blame game, moving beyond hearsay to real issues and solutions, making things tangible and relevant. Each of this is about the caliber, quality, and professionalism of those doing the review. Review outcome response. This is best when there is transparency. Where possible, transparency around who contributed, how results were compiled and derived, and how recommendations were achieved is best. Understanding, showing participants that what they contributed was understood. Response, the response and actions coming out are relevant and implemented with the support of the contributors. Relatable, those involved have a sense that the review relates to them and is of benefit. One of the main determinants for success is the professionalism of those initiating the reviews and those conducting the reviews. Reviews have their place in projects and bring value so long as the professionalism of those initiating and conducting reviews is there. It is the participants within reviews who bring the required information, and it is the value of this contribution which impacts reviews. Thank you for your time, and may your investment be returned. Please share with others. Feel free to subscribe and add your comments. Here's to success in your projects and programs.